Your friend meatball. Mario, I love coming to your shop. There's always cool toys like the Super Moto DRZ, right?
Yeah, DRZ.
And you've got a little race quad propped up here.
Yeah, LTR 450.
But today, we're doing something new, another hybrid.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about this one? Oh,
so,
it's sick.
2005 TRX 450 chassis and subframe. It's got a lowered subframe. And the engine is a 2023 CRF 450.
And is there anything specific about the frame that we should know about? Like, is it braced?
Yeah, it's got a gusset kit in it.
Whose gusset kit?
Textera Tex gusset kit. The frame, because it's an 05, 04 and 05, these mounts are narrower, and same with the top. So the frame has been, these top mounts, the stock ones have been removed and then replaced with a piece that I made and welded in. And then the lower engine mount has been replaced too, because on these they're way in, and you really can't put an adapter. It's much more difficult than it is on a 06 to 14.
All right.
So we have the lower engine mount, these two mounts, and then we're going to utilize the stock fronts. Also lowered the radiator down about an inch.
And what did that do? Cleared the head pipe or something?
No, it's just meant to put the weight of the fluid down lower to help with, body roll and just get weight closer to the bottom.
All right, what are we building? Another motocrosser, or is this a woods quad?
No, this is motocross.
Okay, another motocrosser. We have yet to build a hybrid for a woods racer. I think all these cross-country guys, they should upgrade their quad to hybrid.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll come. I mean, the classes are limited, like rules-wise, it's tough, so.
Well, tell us a little bit about the engine going in. The 450 from 2023 had a lot of technology with it.
Yeah.
More than the last engine that was in this frame.
Again, it's electric starts, fuel injected. The exhaust comes out the center on the 21 to
kind of off to the side.
Yeah, well,
they've changed it to more center.
17 to 20 came out the side, and then 21 to 26 comes out the center. The engine is stock.
What did you have to do to the header? Did you do any work to it?
No. RP Race and DASA both sell exhaust. This one happens to be an RP Race that we're going to put on it. It was a used exhaust system that the guy bought. And yeah, that's plug and play.
All right, well, show us some of the stuff that's going on. We got a table over here with all the goodies laid out.
Yeah, so to start with the radiator, aftermarket radiator, has my fan shroud on it with the 4-inch fan, Dominator axle. The gas tank is a tank that I built along with the rear plastic mount.
So this red part will hold plastics.
Yeah, it holds the back of the tank, and then it also holds the plastics lock into it. We built the airbox.
Tell us about the flange for the airbox.
Yeah, the flange is a JB Racing intake flange. It goes from LTR to 06 and up TRX 450 air filter.
There you go. Because a lot of guys have different setups.
This one JB uses for like their conversions, and I use it too because I want to use the LTR obviously,
right,
and I want to use the bigger filter. Walsh makes one that goes into the LTR boot, but the filter's different size, and it's shorter and it's bigger, and it's good for the LTR. That's what they made the kit for.
Yep.
Like if you come over to here, that's actually what this has in it. It's hard to see, but
yep.
And this setup works great on LTR because you're limited. But in there, we're not limited with the exhaust, so I wanted to have the bigger filter, so that's why I went with that.
Very cool. Brakes, you want to tell us about these?
Just went through the brakes, vapor blasted, just cleaned, lubricated all the slides, everything works good, replaced the rear rotor, pulled the anti-fade nut all apart and cleaned it, replaced the hardware, new bearings. Yeah, just freshen it up. Not everything is getting replaced, just we're kind of refurbishing and making it nice again.
All right, well, let's get started. First step is the engine.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the engine placed in here, put the lower engine mount in it, and we'll kind of just pick away after that.
And go. Back 1 inch.
Yeah.
Has this swing arm been like braced back here?
Yeah, so this is a Hauser swing arm that they only made apparently for a few years. And same with this chain guide, because we've had some issues with this getting the original puck. And I'm not even sure this is gonna work, but this apparently from TM Design says it will. But I don't know how it's all gonna line up. But anyway, this is what we have for the time being. That's probably gonna get corrected. But they only made this for a few years. The linkage the same way. They don't make any more, I guess. But it was cracked back here. I had to put a new plate in. It was also cracked behind here.
Oh yeah,
I fixed all that.
There.
It was cracked in a couple other spots. We got it all nice. It's straight.
Did you have to do anything to the front bushing area, shorten, widen, anything like that?
Yeah, so you can buy these from myself on the website. These inner sleeves are cut to make this whole thing fit. Now, in a normal 450R situation, this swing arm is going to comes right out to the edge. But this swing arm was used on a 250 hybrid, so they had machined that back.
So it's missing some metal that
Right.
other builders might have on their swing arm.
Yeah, any of the any TRX 04 on up, that piece of swing arm is going to come right out to the edge.
More material there, yep.
Yeah. All right, we're going to be torquing the engine plates here to the chassis, 20 foot-pounds.
And then the through bolts in the cradle, what'd you say those were?
40.
And our back
Pivot's 80.
pivot nut is 80.
Get her snugged up here.
I'm just curious how you do this stuff without me.
I know, it's tough.
Jeez.
It's really difficult. Seasoned professional.
Yeah.
Sir, extensionis.
Yep, I heard you need an extension.
Okay. Now we're going to go to the pivot bolt.
Pivot! Pivot!
So that means our engine secured.
This.
Everything else should just be a few minutes from here.
Yeah.
And then we can ride it.
3-4 minutes, yep.
All right, well, you got the heart of it in. Let's, wrap it up.
The heart.
He needs some contrast.
Yeah.
Like maybe some black parts.
I think the graphics will tie.
Give it some contrast.
Yeah, I think it'll open it or tie it all together.
The sparkle, the flake in the powder coat is awesome.
I like it too.
I'm not knocking on that. I just, that gorgeous stem just kind of gets lost in the red of the frame. I gotta f***ing cut it out, and I f***ing should have.
Boy, it's very hostile.
Well, you're f***ing up the show, bud. What do you want me to f***ing tell you?
Yeah, we got a little fabricationals to do.
Now back to your regularly f***ed up program.
Starter solenoid.
What can I do to help?
We just need to get it into the grommet there. But hold on, I gotta get some WD-40.
Mario, is this guy using the stock dirt bike harness?
He is.
Now, where was the battery located on the dirt bike? Because you're having
The dirt bike on the battery on the dirt bike, it's kind of hard to picture, but if this engine's sitting here and your air box is back here, it had a box right here at the battery slid in.
Okay, is the harness going to be able to reach this new location on the ATV frame?
No, but that's where this comes into play. I make the harness extensions that give you new starter wire, new ground wire. Your power wire is already coming off the starter relay. And then it gives you the whip that plugs into the starter relay into the stock harness.
All right, so you're actually producing something for the client.
Right, so if somebody wants to do this and they buy the battery box, you get these.
Okay.
It's part of the kit. And then there's also the air temperature sensor goes in the air box, and there's an extension for that, which is also included.
Is the radiator volume smaller on a split radiator setup on the dirt bike than one large radiator on the ATV frame?
Boy, you're asking me some tough things. I don't know. I guess I never paid attention on how much fluid comes out of the dirt bike versus how much is in that. Probably could figure that out through the service manual. Probably tells you how much the whole system holds.
The capacity
Yeah.
is for each.
Maybe
All right.
we'll look at that and come back to this before, and then edit this out.
Sure. What I was thinking is this is probably a larger capacity on the ATV setup. The radiator
it
looks larger than
probably
two
is.
smaller radiators on a dirt bike. That only can equal more cooling power.
It probably is, but what is that amount of that? I don't know.
Yeah. And then the dirt bikes don't actually have a fan.
Correct. And for the most part, if you are riding and getting airflow, the fan's not probably that critical, but it doesn't hurt to get rid of extra heat.
No, and in race applications, you're also getting roosted a lot where things get plugged up and don't breathe very well and tend to overheat.
Yeah.
Much like me when I was riding.
Just need to get this kind of sorta, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean? This is all temporary anyway. The owner, when they come to get it, it gets all set.
We'll tweak it right to him. All right, we got some of the controls done. Handlebars loosely mocked up. No grips, anything yet. He's still got some electronics to add. We want to make sure it all fits before we tighten anything down. Oh, and you got those cool hand guards. Let's show them those. I noticed
Which at first, I was like moto guy in a wraparound bar, but I actually like it because it's going to give more room for controls because those mount down in the angle.
They got to bump out.
Yeah. All these things have too much stuff going on. And anytime you put hand guards on this stuff, there's never any room.
Right.
Remember like the YSZR, the one with the Behringer? Like it's just specific hand guard would like kind of work. And then one is this way and then one sticking out. It's goofy. Like this might be nice.
This will clamp, you're saying, down in the bed.
Yeah, I think it's like into here.
Okay, maybe
and then at the
mid-bend.
end.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be...
Allows room for it.
Because you're going to have, depending on where you put the start button, I'm probably going to have the mode and start over on this side, but then you got to have a spot for the tether. So sometimes we put them here, but this doesn't have that plate, so I'm probably going to have to put it up here. So maybe the start button's over there, mode's here. Like it's going to get tricky in the
You
dicky.
got some customizing to do to a custom quad is what you're saying?
Yeah, a little tricky in the dicky, you know what I'm talking?
I mean, they are kind of one-on-one every time you build one. It's got touches that the other doesn't have, so we'll figure it out, Mario.
Yeah. I'd like to see stuff made in this country. Just gets difficult.
Yeah, should we talk politics? No.
No.
No, we should. No, we'll probably lose viewers. We want to keep the 8 people watching right now.
We do.
Yeah. Renthal sprocket, Dominator axle.
But it's not a Dominator. I screwed that up.
Oh, what's the
I thought it was, but I'm looking at here. It's an Excalibur, which is it Durablue Excalibur? I don't know. I thought it was a Dominator. I thought I saw the imprint here, but it's not. You know, some stock models are short. This allows to be wider, and it gives you spacers so you can adjust where your wheel offset is. That kind of stuff. The chain is going to come right through here. That actually probably works out all right. It's just, it is a bit bulky.
It's a bit bulky, but he does the job.
And Farva still looks like a complete idiot, which is fantastic. I'm not going to tighten that up yet, too, until we get the wheels on it and blah, blah, blah. Rear caliper. You need like one set of tools on this side and one set of tools over there. It's such a pain. Back and forth, back and forth.
I know we're not going to be able to do the front A-arms.
Right.
Can we see the gas tank on there at least?
You just want to set it up on there?
Yeah, just set that on there. Explain to the viewer who doesn't know why you're doing a custom gas tank instead of just using the ATV gas tank.
On these CRF builds, you have to use the fuel pump. So that's hence why we're got to build all the tank and all that. And then depending on what year you have is two different style pumps. This is a 23, but 21 to 26 use this square style pump.
If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, we'd love to hear your feedback on these quads. Mario puts a lot of effort into these, and obviously there was a lot of starting stuff you had to do before we ever got to see the machine today, because just the work done to the frame.
The tear down and all the, and then you get it back from powder and cleaning all the holes and putting bearings in. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
So it all starts with that stuff. We're kind of picking up after you've done a lot of legwork, and we're just going to show you the assembly on this one. But stay tuned, there will be a part 2. We're trying to get this channel to 2,000 subscribers in the year 2026, and we got about 250 to go. So if you could hit that subscribe button, Mario and I would appreciate it. Watch us on Facebook, we put some reels out, and as well as on Instagram. So follow us there as well. We'll see you on the next video.